conference to be reckoned with.
Deep conference. Providence is a good team. Xavier's a good team. This is a deep, talented conference right now.
Jay, though, something to be worried about here for North Carolina, their sense of urgency. It just didn't seem when they were down that they, like Coach said, brought the team together like Roosevelt Jones did.
I think this has been an ongoing issue for North Carolina over the past 4 or 5 years. It's just their defensive toughness. You know, at times you want them to buckle down. And we talk a lot about leadership. Marcus Page is a leader that is displayed on the floor with his play. He can take over games. He can score. But sometimes when you're in a dogfight, you need somebody to actually raise the level of intensity. Somebody to grab somebody by the shirt, yell at them, say, okay, let's pick it up here defensively. Let's get a stop. And you saw Bryce Johnson right there, could have stepped in, taken a charge, but he waited to the last second just to try to block a shot. In order for North Carolina to be that team that could win the ACC, to actually reach their expectations of trying to win a national title, they need to find that person just to lead them vocally and demand greatness. It can't come from the coach. It has to come from the players.
This is a perfect example. One team played to play. I thought Carolina played to play. They expected their athleticism eventually to take this game over. One team played to win and drew a line in the sand. Every single possession, you've got to play each play like a separate entity. And I thought that what Butler did was every play was important. I thought Carolina thought that the cumulative effect eventually would wear down Butler. It was the other way around. And you know, your thing about Marcus Page, to me, is really interesting because Marcus Page made his second field goal in the game with 2 minutes left in regulation. 2 minutes left. If Marcus Page is going to be a National Player of the Year, we're talking about National Player of the Year.
Yeah.
If North Carolina is going to be a team that we can talk seriously about being a Final Four team, Marcus Page needs to get engaged in the game right from the beginning. Not just as a facilitator, but as a facilitator, a scorer, a voice, an extension of the coach, and an emotional leader. Because there's two ways to lead. You can have a leader, an individual leader, or a collective responsibility. Right now, North Carolina has neither. They don't have a proven leader, and they do not have a collective responsibility.
As a coach, is there something you can do to get your team
There's only so
together
much.
like that?
It's exhausting to coach your team, coach your locker room, and coach emotion. That is really difficult. You've got some upperclassmen. They need to step up. Now, I am sure Roy Williams is having those conversations with his upperclassmen. What they need to do is take some ownership. They're being coached every day. They're being told about leadership. You know what? You can talk about leadership. Leadership is only valuable when other people are following you. The question is, who is following whom in that North Carolina locker room? Really talented. It's November.
Right.
This is going to be a team. Last year, they were 0-3 in the ACC. They lost to UAB. They lost to Belmont. They got it back together. So Carolina's going to be fine.
It's one game. It's one game.
But means a lot for Butler.
It
does mean a lot for
great
Butler.
win for Butler.
Yep.
Great win for Butler.
A great win for the Big East. And speaking of the Big East, last night it was Villanova and